Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're in Dublin, Donnybrook, Dublin, and a very interesting cemetery here to show you. It's actually locked up to the public, but we got the key off on Garda Síochána, the guards here, to let us in to video for you. So we're right on the busy road here in Donnybrook, but this is the entrance to the cemetery. And this was actually erected by the members of the Dublin Stock Exchange to the late Thomas Chamney Searight, for many years registrar to their society. He died May the 27th, 1890, and his remains are buried in this churchyard. Right, so as I said, the gates are locked, but a lovely Garda has unlocked the gate for us to let us in. So the site has actually been in use between 800 and 1880, with the exception of some burial rites. Now the site was once the location of an old Celtic church founded by Saint Broc, which lends its name to the area here, Donnybrook. Later the Church of St Mary was dedicated by the Archbishop of Dublin between 1181 and 1212. In 1879, the discovery of the remains of 600 people was made at a mound on Aylesbury Road, which dated back to a bloody massacre by the Danes in the 9th to the 10th century. Their bodies were actually removed and buried in this cemetery. Now we have a few notable burials here. We have an Edward Lovett Pearce. He was an Irish architect. Bartholomew Mosse. He was an Irish surgeon. And he was actually responsible for founding of the Rotunda Hospital here in Dublin. And there's a William Ashford as well. He was a British painter, but he worked exclusively in Ireland. There's also a Dr. Richard Robert Madden. He was an Irish doctor, a writer, and a historian of the United Irishmen. And we even have a British spy or an informer, Leonard McNally. Right, so I have never been in here. So I'm just going to get my bearings as we walk around. We'll see if we can find some of those notable burials. I know there was extensive work done here as well a few years back, and you know, it's in a busy area. So even though it is accessible by the public, you do have to access the key from the guards. Wow, look at this. Beautiful tomb. And I believe that is a crypt maybe. But we're going to have a look at this tomb first. It has some nice designs on it. I'm not sure I'll be able to get up here to read it, but I'm going to try. I don't want to fall. There is writing actually on top here. It's very faint. Will we see it with the torch? I'm actually not sure who's on that. Looks like 1829 down there. Of tomb of surgeon. That looks like surgeon there to me. S-U-R maybe. And the rest is just really hard to read. If I find out who is buried in this tomb, obviously I will put up the information. But that is extremely hard to read there now. It's just completely weathered away. So let's go down and just have a quick peep inside. So this is interesting. So obviously it is a crypt. It goes in pretty far, doesn't it? There's nothing, there doesn't seem to be
stone slabs.
Is it? Mm. So would it have just held the bodies at some stage maybe, or are they actually buried there? Or does it actually go underground maybe? It's very interesting. They have obviously blocked it off for, you know, it's been done for a while. I'd say there's this grate here and then there's a grate just inside as well. But it just looks like two stone They could be actually in those stones that are in there. I won't be able to show you, but what we can see are like two stone bases. So I'm presuming on the left and right they are buried inside of that. But it is very interesting. Very, very interesting. So we have actually quite a number of headstones. Let's have a look. Oh wow, look at this one. Isn't that beautiful? Little cherub face on it. Sacred to the memory of Mrs. Mary Livingston, wife of Mr. Daniel Livingston, County Dublin, who departed this life on the 26th day of April 1820, aged just 24. Also their daughter, it looks like Rosa Mary Livingston, aged 18 months, who died on the 8th of May. And then it says, following her afflicted husband, looks like has erected this stone in commemoration of the best of wives, a tender and affectionate mother, a dutiful daughter, something companion, the truest and sincerest friend after a distressing illness, born with that pious resignation and serene fortitude which never fails to accompany virtues, innocence. She was called by the Almighty to that state of heaven existence where something is unknown. Wow, that is beautiful. So he has put a whole verse there for his wife Mary and her daughter Rosa Mary Livingston. That is gorgeous. We have an old stone here. Here lieth the body of Mr. John Elliot of the parish of Donnybrook, who departed this life the 9th day of December 1746, aged 70. This stone was erected, and then I think it's for by his wife maybe. Now we were talking about the entrance there, and he was Searight, and this is William Searight and Jane Searight. It says also their children. Looks like 1934 there for William, 1866 for Jane, also their children James there. There's a Catherine, and then the rest has just weathered away, unfortunately.
1834.
Can you see it? 1834 for William Searight, and then Jane, as I said, 1866. Wow. So we have this big wall that runs the whole outer part of this cemetery here. But we do have kind of like a little pathway. And we'll see if we can stay on the path for a little while anyway. So as I said, there was extensive work done here. And you can see they had, put down these little paths and stuff and little borders around the trees themselves. Another huge tomb here. It's all covered. I don't think you'll be able to read anything there really. That stuff is almost stuck to it. No, that's a pity. Look at this one in here, wow. It's a hand holding a dagger, is it? Looks like a dagger. Let's have a closer look at that, guys. That is cool. Now we've the ivy, of course, on this, erected by Mr. something. Wow, that is stuck fast to it. Mr. Nallo, it looks like, or Macnallo. Macnallo. And it looks, is it Charles, maybe? Charles Macnallo. Something about Abbey. 1771. Wow. So we'll have to look this guy up as well. That is so cool. I don't think I've ever seen one with the hand and a dagger like that before. Well, we've some interesting ones down here as well. Another tomb here. Let's have a look at this one. Turn these around. The remains of Mr. William Payne.
Departed this life on the 25th of
September. The date then is somewhere up there. It's not. Oh, hold on.
1792.
Looks like a 2. Yeah, I think so.
1792, in his 78th year of his age.
Wow. So, is it William Payne? Yeah. Wow, these graves are very, very old, aren't they? So our path has kind of stopped. It looks like they have fixed this one here. It's like a cement. I have all sorts of stuff on my fingers now. The remains of Anne, the wife of William Power, it looks like. 1836 maybe? Wow, look at this one here. Well, we've a couple of bigger memorials. Just kind of being careful of where we walk now. Wow, look at that one. That is huge. Look at that. Sacred to the memory of something right. Oh, Joseph, is it? Joseph Wright? He was a Dublin solicitor. Wow. Not quite sure. It looks like Joseph Wright to me.
Joseph Wright.
1825, a Dublin solicitor. Just at the bottom there, Dublin solicitor. And then his wife as well is there as well, 1822. Look at that. So Grave Visitations is trying to hold the torch. And I bet you that is underground in a crypt as well, I'd say. Look at those for rails, like. I definitely think that's an underground crypt. But he was a Dublin solicitor. So I'm sure that's one of the more notable burials. So the ground is full of like ivy, but it is extremely wet. And in fact today is extremely cold. Wow, look at this one. Lie at the body of
Miss Sarah Wilder. She departed this life on the 21st.
It's November the 21st, 1788, aged just 22. Here are also deposited the remains of Mrs. Elizabeth Mary Drought, is it?
Drought, yeah.
Wow.
Miss Wilder.
Oh, so her mum and daughter.
Wife of the Reverend
It's Reverend James Drought. May 1797, they're aged, looks like 27.
Yeah. This headstone doesn't have any inscriptions on it.
No, unless it's just war. So it could be a separate headstone faced one way. There's just a ton of writing here, so there's obviously more than, but it's very hard. That actually there looks almost new compared to the rest. It's so weathered looking. So this one here then, look at this. Here are the deposited remains of Matilda Jane, wife of Robert James Graves. What a name. Graves, and we're in a graveyard. Wow.
Esquire.
Who died 1825, aged unsure of that, without standing on the grave, and I don't really want to. Also of Elizabeth Mary, wife of the very Reverend Richard Graves. Looks like Dean of, unsure of that, age 60, 1827, and then there's a Sarah, second wife of the above Robert. So Robert's two wives are buried here, I believe.
I did come across the surname grave before.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
In wet water.
It always kind of is strange to read it. Now, we've another
This looks like a
beautiful...
Masonic.
Do you think?
symbol
Look at
there.
that, yeah. And we're going to be able to get it. This is sacred to the memory of Robert... Is it Hague?
Hague of Roebuck.
Sixth in descent from James Hague of Bermside, Berwickshire. Born 1764, died August 1845, aged 81, and was buried here. Also of Caroline Mary, his wife, daughter of William Wolseley, Baronet of Wolseley, Staffordshire.
And it just says there, distiller.
Dublin distiller, yeah.
Sixth in descent
Wow.
from James, so he's sixth in line. To
And
the
there's
family.
also Charles there at the side as well. What is that? Surviving son, is it?
Also,
Barrister at law. So Charles Hack, or Hake, I'm not quite sure how you say it. Hake, I presume. Barrister at law, and third surviving son of the said Robert Hague and Caroline Mary, his wife, 1847, aged 39, and was buried here. If I can get, I don't know how we're going to get around here. Wow, look at that. That's cool, isn't it? And you can just see, guys, loads of holly bushes, which are lovely, but just how built up the area is surrounding it here, you know.
I wonder what that red brick
And we're going to make our way down there now.
is. The old Church of Ireland.
There is some remains of what the church was. It was rebuilt again, and they say that the remains are here of St. Mary's, I believe. But wow, this is full of brambles here. Now this is a pity because they need to kind of come back in and take care of it again. We're not going to be able to go into that grave to read it. Let's see what else we can find. We've loads down here that we haven't looked at yet. Wow, well, look at that little tiny one on it, it's a wonder. Let's have a look at this. Matthew Morris, memory of his beloved children. Margaret. Something. Not quite sure. I wonder if we can take the ivy off it there. Died young, 1868. So Margaret. Something in Jane, actually. There's two children's names there. There's Margaret, then there's a name there, and Jane, Kate and Jane, who died young, 1868. Wow. So their father would have erected that. That is so sad. So let's get back. There's the pat again. I mean, it's just got so overgrown that we can barely see the pat. Now I know they did extensive repair work to the walls here and to this monument as well. So we'll go up and take a look at this as well. Now we do have like a bust on this one. Bartholomew, let's see if I can get just a little bit nearer to read it.
That's the man you were reading.
Surgeon, yeah.
Surgeon.
So Bartholomew Mosse, or Mouse, is it? M-O-S-S-E, 1759, surgeon and man midwife, wow. Founder of the first Dublin hospital, opened on the 15th of March 1745. So that's him, guys, that we were talking about earlier. Builder of the first master of the Rotunda Hospital, opened on the 8th of December 1757. So any woman that has given birth in Rotunda Hospital, this was the man to thank. There's a Thomas Taylor on that plaque there. It's very hard to read. and it's so high up.
That could be his, like Jane, his name.
Oh yeah, that looks like Lawler though, doesn't it?
Lawler, yeah. Daughter of... it's hard to read it.
Yeah, and I just see a Thomas as well, so maybe they're all connected. There is a headstone here as well. The stone and burial place belongs to Moses Welsh. Any date on it? No. Why is there no date? It's kind of unusual. It's a nice headstone. But as I said, Bartholomew Mosse, I think, or it could be Mosse either, just depending on your pronunciation. But we do have like this, a kind of a, if I can just back up safely enough, it's almost like a tomb in the shape of a cross there as well. So this is quite interesting. There's a hole right... Actually, look at that. Look at that.
It's like a pin on that or something.
Lift it up towards the back of it. Yeah, so there's this, guys, there's a deep hole in there. And I won't really know to let it, but I'll just give you a look. I can't really understand why there's such a deep hole there. We did think we saw something at the very back of it, but it is very strange that that little, it's like part of a chain is there. Now, let me see. I think I'll go up here for a second. There's a little cherub on this one actually. Look at this. Ah, look at this stone and burial place belongs to George Wilson, and the date looks like, oh, I don't know actually. Wow, that's a beautiful angel there, look at that. So 1744. Wow. George Wilson. Absolutely beautiful angel. And her wings and everything. That is gorgeous, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow. Right. Where to next? It's actually harder to walk around here than I would have thought. Thomas Byrne Esquire and his wife Mary Ann, who died 1872. Thomas Byrne Esquire died in 1876. It's a huge, like a granite cross, but I believe that is that a dove there as well. And just behind the memorial, I should say, we have a huge crane.
The vault as well.
Family vault of Thomas Byrne. Wow, so that would also go in underground, just there. But I was just looking at the crane that's behind the memorials there as well. So, right, let's try and get back out along here maybe and see what else we can find as we go. A lot of these stones aren't very, oh wow, very readable, but this one certainly is. Erected by Bridget Kinsella in memory of her husband William Kinsella, who departed this life July 1828, 35. And have a look at that. That is gorgeous. The whole scene of the crucifixion there, the moon.
It's in great condition, isn't it?
Oh, it's in amazing condition. The detail there, even on the sun, like.
Glory, yeah.
Wow, and we have an angel up at the top there as well. That is beautiful. Serpent at his feet, look at that. Wow. That looks like it's brand new. We've another one beside them with two little cherubs. Very hard to read this one. It looks like a Michael, alright. 1815. or 13. But whatever stone that is, it's like sandstone. It's really, really brittle.
And still survived.
Still has survived, but look how weathered and worn it is. Such a pity, really. We've 2 tombs here. Look at these. These are gorgeous. 2 of these.
They look like those medieval.
They're almost like those vampire tombs, aren't they? But also with that medieval twist to them. We do have writing, but once again, it's extremely weathered, isn't it? I do see barrister, yeah. Edward Richards. Not sure, 1865, age 67, but it says barrister there. And then I wonder then, is the one here beside it his wife, maybe? There's writing here on this one as well. Everywhere I look now, you see something different. This one, in memory of Richard Madden, MD, Irish historian, author, and benefactor of Anne Devlin. Did you see that? Irish historian, author and benefactor of Anne Devlin? Richard Madden. Erected in the centenary year 1986. So erected in the centenary year of his death, 1986. The National Graves Association, Dublin. So they would have placed that plaque there. So that's his tomb.
Medical doctor.
Wow. Wow, this is like, it's like a treasure trove really in here, isn't it? I see some more notable ones here, or what I believe to be notable. They're all amazing to see and to be remembered. Oh, I'm not sure whether we'll be able to read this one either. Doesn't look like there's any writing on that one. Could be on the other side, but as I turn around, Lucy, the wife of Edward Tighe, Esquire, of Lower Leeson Street, daughter of Richard, daughter of Richard Newtown King, Esquire, died January 1860. She has a beautiful urn there. That is stunning. The rails have been recently painted. William Tighe is here, and it says clerk, fourth son of Richard, born 1801, died 1828, I believe. That says a very, very young there for Richard.
You've come across that name Tighe before.
Tighe, yeah.
Mary Tighe.
Oh, she had a mausoleum in Inishtig, yeah. Oh, look at this. This is Edward Tighe, Esquire. Wow, look at this. Who died 1864, it looks like. Not sure of his age. 67. Is it this memorial? And then it just, you can see that writing does not hold up on that stone.
Lovely,
but that would have been stunning, like.
Looks like a church.
Does look like a church, doesn't it? That is beautiful, isn't it? Wow, look at that stone. But again, you can see the way it's just almost dissolved. There is a top missing off of there, one part. Ooh, that breeze now would... Oh, wow.
Rods.
And Edward Tighe has brought us to this beautiful one. Look at this. This stone is erected to the memory of John Donne in the Queen's County, who departed his life at Ballsbridge, which is very, very near here, about a 20-minute walk, July 1820, age 76, and also is here interred his son Patrick Donne, who departed this life 23rd day of the preceding April, age 31. Wow, and look at these. These are pretty well preserved as well. They are beautiful.
Queen's County in Cork.
Queen's County, yeah. And actually that one there that we have just been to with the scene of the crucifixion really just stands out. We have another beautiful tomb here. Look at this one. And this one looks like, to me, that it was in pieces, and they have tried their best to fix it. It's up in Dublin. Aged.
Timothy, is it?
Timothy, yeah. Don't know. We've lost a whole part. Beloved husband of
32.
Bridget, it looks like 1804. But as you can see, this has been all placed back together. Now we'll keep going on this path. It's usually easier. Oh wow!
This.
Oh my God! This has everything that I adore. We have the hourglass. We have the ladder. We have the serpent. We have the rooster. We have angels. And we have the skull and crossbones, guys. Look at that. Look at his teeth. Oh my God. He looks vicious looking, doesn't he? Look at his teeth. This stone was erected in memory of Richard Tobin, a Bishop Street grocery, is it? Or grocer. So he was a grocer of Bishop Street. Here lie the remains of said Richard, who departed this life the 22nd day of February 1802, aged, now it's hard to make that out, that could be 25, it could be 35, much lamented by all that knew him, and also
Remains of his mother.
oh, his mother is here as well. She was only 46 when she died in 18, maybe
1802, is it?
Wait till I see if you can get that, can you? 1800s. Wow, 46.
Very young.
And then I'd say that's 25 then, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Lovely stone.
Actually, that doesn't even make sense. Departed. The remains of his mother Judith in 1800. She died aged 46. He died 2 years later, aged 25. She was a young mother. And I suppose back then they were, weren't they? Yeah. But look at the headstone, guys. That is one of the best I have ever seen. I'm not quite sure. I do know this is for cutting down like corn and barley and stuff. Do you know they cut the long grass? I just can't think of the name. Sheaf or something. I will probably have got that wrong, but I will put it over. This is beautiful. Look at that.
You have to, yeah. It's like what the Grim Reaper would have, kind of one of those.
Yeah. Yeah, so I just can't think of the name of it, guys. I am just...
I'd call it like a side.
A side, that's it. It's a side. Sorry, guys, it is a side. So a side, the hourglass. Not sure what this represents, actually. It looks like a pin, or it could be a spear, maybe to pierce Lord's side. Wow, look what I've noticed here. If you just go to the side of it, we have hammer, pliers, nails. Everything that they used in the crucifixion is here. I suppose the skull is your own mortality and death. The angels then as well. That is actually very, very beautiful. I absolutely love that, and I think that is what I want now on my headstone, please. if that's okay with you. Look at this tree. Wow. I wonder when this cemetery opened, was it even here? It's probably hundreds and hundreds of years old. Stone was erected by Mrs. Dinah Canny, it looks like. 1871, aged 58. This one is really well preserved as well. The stone was erected by Eleanor Egan in memory of her beloved husband William. 1810, aged just 39. And we see that a lot. You know, they didn't grow as old. I suppose back then maybe your 30s was old. But you'll see lots of them there, guys. I wish we could cover every single headstone, but it's just not going to happen. We want to just have a look at this one with the rails.
There's one up against the wall over
there. Is. We look at that as well. Sacred to the memory of Reverend Arthur is a core rider.
Gore rider.
And that's, is it a C or a G? Gore? Rector of Donnybrook. Sub-Dean, who passed away 1889, age 64. So he was the Reverend Arthur Gore, I think is the pronunciation. We have a couple of tabletop tombs here. Huge headstone here, but there's something here up against the wall that is actually quite interesting. I am not sure what that is. Wow. Would it have been... I don't know what that is. Would that have been the... No, Would it have been? I was thinking memorial.
Together.
And then I was thinking, would it have held a gate or something? Would there have been a pier
It was
or an entrance? It's been fixed. This looks like they've kind of just put it together. And this then with the hole, I'm not sure. It does look like there's something iron going through it. So either, I don't know guys, if you know what it is, put a comment below. Very interesting. So we have some more headstones here. We actually have to go back into the guards and let them know to lock up again after we go. But there is something here. Sir Edward Lovett Pearce, architect of Parliament House in Dublin. He was interred in this churchyard on the 10th of December. Now I'm not sure what the Roman numerals refer to, but I'll look it up and I will absolutely place it over. But we have like a little medal here. See 1839, founded 1839. Not sure what the writing says. The Royal
Institute of the Is it Churches of Ireland?
Something, yeah, maybe so.
The Royal Institute of Churches of Ireland.
So that is there as well. Wow, I actually have seen some things have been numbered. So possibly the more historic headstones. Now, as we go back to the original, this entrance that we showed you at the start, there, they do actually seem to have some information there on the board as well. But let me just give you one more look at it here. It's getting quite busy outside now. We have a bus stop as well just there. So very, very busy. That's the Dublin bus, guys. Right, so guys, that's it for today from Donnybrook. A very, very interesting cemetery, very historical. Some amazing headstones, and definitely that one with the skull is my favourite. What do you think? Absolutely gorgeous. We always love the cherubs and the angels, but that one, anything with a skull and crossbones, I love. But anyway guys, if you like this kind of content, please don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell and give the video a like. That helps YouTube push our videos out. So for now, from me, Sue, and GV Grave Visitations, take care, God bless, and we'll talk to you soon.